Howdy folks, TJ here. Aren't some of us wishing it was summertime, warmer weather? It's winter, we're all cold, there's lots of snow going on. Actually, where I live, I haven't had any snow this year yet, but it's been cool, it's been rainy, and I've been playing with my Amiga. Normally in the fall, winter, cozy times in the house, you drink a little whiskey, you play on computers, and you try not to go outside as much because it's a little too cold. But there's some neat things happening in the world of next-gen Amiga. Some have, used the word, people say there's not much going on in next-gen, it's dead. Well, I beg to differ. Is it super vibrant? No. But are there things happening? Yes. And there's two things I'm going to show you today that I'm quite excited about, because what they're going to allow me to do, or kind of push and nudge me to do, is use my AmigaOne X5000 more, because they are things that I've kind of said, hey, if these things were available on my Amiga and they weren't rocket science to install, we'll talk about that in a moment, that I would use it more. So I'm kind of excited about these things. Is it a new web browser? No. Is it LibreOffice finally available? No. In fact, what's happening with LibreOffice? Is that even in the radar anymore? Because those are two things that I would definitely, if I could be on the net with this daily, if I want to go to eBay and buy something, I can't do that right now. I tried to launch eBay this morning, and you could type in your email or your username, but the continue button never highlights to where you can click on it and log into eBay. And I don't know if you could spoof it or any of those things. We shouldn't be having this spoof shit. I don't want to be spoofing. Hey, is that like a new infomercial? Spoof, spoof, spoof. Anyway, what are we talking about? And I'm going to have to go off camera here in a second and blow my nose. Oh, my allergies are ripping. But there's two new things that, yes, you've been able to do one of them on the Amiga for a while, but again, there's lots of, it's too, what's the word for it? It starts with the letter C. Convoluted. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta type in, you gotta change this text info file. You shouldn't have to do that stuff. This is a next-gen Amiga. We need to get past those things. There needs to be a GUI at the beginning of the application that, for the dummies, because if we want to collect more dummies, like, I'm joking. But if we want to collect more people, we need to make it easier. And you shouldn't have to go into a config file and type stuff and have to figure out stuff and command line stuff to do simple things. Am I ranting? I don't know if I'm there. Oh, let me go off camera a second, because, my nose, I gotta, my nose. Okay. So what are we talking about? Do you want to print to a wireless printer in your house from an AmigaOne? Yes. Do you want to be able to play larger than 480p videos from YouTube on your Amiga, and it be generally kind of easy to configure and use? Yes. If you've answered yes to both of those, let's take you on a little journey. So this is my Candy desktop. I put it on the summertime feel because I feel a little crabby, as normal. My mustache is in out. There's pelicans. I guess that's a pelican. We'll focus in on the screen here now. Let me focus in on the screen, because otherwise it's going to be a little blurry. Let me kind of shifty my shamoogles around, and gives me another opportunity to itch my nose. Let's open. You're going to see less of me and more of the screen, which is fine, but let's focus in on the screen. And this is not going to be super tight, but it'll be tight enough for you to get the gist of things. Before I do that, though, let me show you. Okay, here's my AmigaOne X5000. Oh, and then there's a lot of stuff over here. There's a printer. That printer is in a windowsill area. It's a wireless printer on my home network, and I want to print to that, Schmeagles, because I need to print stuff out. Why do you need to print in this modern day and age, TJ? Because I like to print. When you're if you work out of your home, you can write some things off. You need to have a paper trail of said things that you write off, receipts. So if I get something that's work related, I need to print out a receipt and put it someplace. To date, I do that all on my regular computers. On here, I couldn't print. Printing from older Ataris and Amigas, if you have the right old driver and the right old printer, all that magical stuff. You got to do all sorts of things. Today, MC Lepa on the Amigans.net website last summer came out with something called AirScan. And he made a driver, I'll call it a driver, an application that allows you to scan. If you've got an all-in-one type of printer that has a scanner, you can scan documents into your Amiga. You can click on a button, it will auto-find your printer on your wireless network and add it, and you can scan, and it worked. Wonderful. So we all started saying, oh, we see this could be meaning printers one day, printers. And we kind of brought that up. And I think MC Lepa, what's that stand for, Mick Lepa? Are you an MC, Master of Communication? What's MC? I don't know, but MC Lepa, thank you. He's now made AirPrint. Go to Amigans, type in AirPrint, and search for the thread. And you will see that it just started, it was at 0.20. I'm going to call it an alpha version because normally alpha, you know, when you get to 0.5 or and above, 0.75 and above, before you get to 1.0, I would say alpha and then beta, and people are testing it and they're trying it. I decided to try it at version 0.3, and it worked. I was able to print from my AmigaOne X5000. Wonderful. So let me bring it up. So down in my dock, you're not going to see this because the icons are quite small down here, but I've got a new icon that says AirPrint. It looks like a printer. When I click on it, it brings up this magical AirPrint version 3.0. That's the version I'm on. There's a settings screen. There's supply levels. I don't trust this because I know I don't have full of all of these. I don't know if it should be showing truthfully, but I've been using this printer for 2 years now. I guarantee I'm going to be low on one of them. So I don't think that's working. Well, again, alpha, maybe it will never work, but I could print, dang it, and I'm excited about it. And printing. So this is the window. You can click on the big plus or minus here to add or delete printer. I clicked on the plus. I clicked on auto search. I'm just going to click on plus. I don't have to save anything. But when you click on it, you can click on search for printer, or you can type in an IP address. So if you've got a printer on the same network that your Amiga is on, I'm not wireless on my Amiga. I'm wired to the router. But the router is wirelessly connected to my printer. So I clicked on search for printer, and it found it, and I added it. Now, I did have a hiccup after it added it, and I shut off my computer and turned it back on. It forgot it. So I had to do it again, but now it's remembering it. So I don't know if it was just a quirk, again, alpha, but it is now keeping it in memory, which is cool. You can search by an IP address, so if you've got a hardwired set 192.168, 1.50 or whatever, you can type it in. Hopefully it finds it. Now, not every printer, there's no list of printers that works. It is try it, hopefully it works. I don't know the limitations of that, and if it's going to be certain printers that, certain wireless technologies that allow it, but I'm happy to say on mine, a HP Smart Tank 7300 series, it sees. So after I clicked on it, I set it up, and I told it to communicate with the AirPrint device, which is what this driver is. And you can change around quality of the draft, the paper sizes. You can change all these things, which is cool. But you'll see my printer's up here. It says HP Smart Tank 7300. Now, over there behind me, I showed you a second ago, behind the slight mess on the table next to me. Aren't we all like that? We've got a beautiful front. It's all clean, but right behind it, you've got a mess. Most of us do. Oh, I got my nose. My nose. A bad allergy day. Okay. Now, what do I want to print? I want to print something. So let's go to, I'm going to click on the little file icon down here. This says file to print. Now, I've printed so far from Notepad. I just created something. Oh, I'm going to type on my Atari Big STE. That will work. Down here is the keyboard. I saved the file, and I was able to print something from Notepad. Just a quick text file, printed fine. Now, I wasn't able to print directly from Notepad. I think I tried it, and I don't remember if it even came out. Let's just try it for the heck of it. Let's type in some gibberish, And let's go to, is there a print in here? Print, edit. No, there is no print in here. You can say, yeah, there's a print. Print this text. Okay. Yeah, error while using print. Okay. So yeah, no, that's what I think I had that last time. So I created something, I saved it. And then from within this, within this AirPrint, I go down and I click on this little icon, and I want to print something. I gotta trim my mustache. It's all in my mouth. I want to print Claude Popple's instructions. What is Claude Popple's instructions? Well, this is a video game I created called Invasion of the Cloud People on the Speccy Next, and also a version for the older Speccy. And it was a little creature that I called Claude Popple's a little mascot. And I created a PDF document that was universally able, anybody could print it out, and shows them how to make their own Claude Popples. Because in my game, I included all the components to make your own Claude Popples. In the spirit of Sinclair, that used to, back in the 80s, sell you a computer kit that you put together yourself for a little cheaper. You saved a few pounds, pence, because you made it yourself. So I thought, in the lineage of Sinclair, why don't I make a Claude Popple's kit, and you made it yourself. And here's a PDF. Now, I have not tried to print this yet. The only things I've tried to print is something from Notepad. Printed fine. It was text. And then I printed a PDF of a receipt. Like I was saying, I think earlier, on eBay, I buy stuff from eBay. I want to print out the receipt. And in this case, I can't even log on to eBay with my AmigaOne. That's something else. But I logged on, and I wanted to print out the receipt. So I came over here, and I selected it, and it printed fine. Graphics and all. So let's see if this prints. So I've selected Claude Popple's instructions.pdf, and I'm going to click on the word print. I've selected, the printer's automatically selected. I'm going to click print. Now we wait. Do you hear that? What? Let's go over here. I know it's a little messy over there, but it's okay. A computer nerd in his room. It's printing. Something's printing. Oh shit, the paper's gonna fly out. I better move closer. Oh shit. There was a piece of paper. Okay, hold on. Let me get this piece of paper. I need to, oh crap. I'm gonna drop the phone. Let me put the phone back on here. It's a magnetic thing. Now I gotta bend over. You know, when you get old, bending over, you can't quite, oh shit. Oh, I got it. Okay, now I've got to make sure the camera's in the right direction. Oh no. I think it's good enough for now. We'll adjust it in a second. Okay, guess what, people? I have just printed out wirelessly, because I'm connected to the same network, my Claude Popple's PDF that came out quite stunningly beautiful. It's not too bad. It's a PDF. I can read everything. And there you go. AirPrint version. I think it's up to like version 0.35 something now. So grab it. Go to Amigans. I'll put the link down below. You can print, possibly. I can't guarantee it. Neither can the maker of this. But I'm able to print now. How bitchin' is that? That is a leap up in terms of, you could go down and buy a somewhat modern printer, a wireless printer, connected to your network and be able to print. Now, again, it's not guaranteed, so make sure the return policy on that printer's, if it doesn't print for you, is good. But most of us are just going to try to print it out on our own printer that we have at home. And I'm pretty excited. I was able to print this. So now I can print my eBay receipts, if I could log on to eBay. So that's it. AirPrint. That's the first thing. Now I need to refocus in on the screen, because, man, I was all over the place. We're going to show you something also fun. So let's see. Focus in on the screen. Okay. Now let's try to shimmy the Schusters back in here. So what else do I like to do? Oh, who doesn't like to watch cats on YouTube? To date, people have been watching videos on an AmigaOne X5000 for a while. There's a thing called Rexx, and it's wonderful, right? Yes, but again, there's a convoluted exercise that a commoner like me does not want to have to go through to change any type of config files, and you have to get this and this and this and tap on your belly and do this to get it to work at 480p resolution. I don't know if it even streams at high resolution. Maybe it does, but MPlayer, which I think is what most people use with Rexx. That sounds like a group from the 1970s that plays rock and roll. Anyway, it works, sure, but I was not going to go there. I want to have something that's fairly simple to install for a commoner that's going to collect the masses, not the handful of more techie people that like to go in and change a config file and do all this. That's not where it's at. I mean, you got to look forward to the future. You got to start making a application, a GUI, that will set things up for you in it beforehand. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on 1,000 other people that want to play YouTube videos. There's a program called Video Vortex. Ghetto Finger Gamer. I'll put his link down below. He's a fellow. I think he's fairly new to Amiga. I don't think he's been into Amiga since the olden days. But more recently, he's got a YouTube channel. He's got not only one Amiga A1222, he's ordered a second one, and I think he's also getting an X5000. He's been bitten in the ass with buying Amiga, and he's got Amiga stuff all over his website. So if you want to watch somebody that's excited about Amiga, check out his group, his YouTube channel. Now, a week prior to his video that he just put up, I had kind of watched his video. He was doing something of his A1222 playing games. And I said, hey, why don't you make a video of you doing that YouTube thing that you were just showing? And he did. And it definitely helped nudge me in the butt, because a week earlier, I posted in an IRC group that I was in. I saw this VW Vortex. That's actually a real group. Video Vortex, a program that allowed you to more easily play YouTube videos. And that captured me. And I posted a link in an IRC chat I was in, but I never followed through and looked into it deeper until after seeing Ghetto Finger Gamer's YouTube channel. So I went and grabbed it, and it was fairly easy to install, but not. It wasn't. I'm gonna see. Okay, a little tricky. You have to download the Video Vortex. You need to have YT Rexx. If you go to OS4 Depot, yt.rexx or yt.lha, I think is the actual. If you type that in for search, you'll find it. You've got to install YT Rexx, which I grabbed those two, and you need to have a program called Emotion. You don't have to. I think you can play it with MPlayer, but the problem with MPlayer is I don't think MPlayer has hardware speeding up of your videos where you can play something higher than 480p. Maybe they do, but I'm not aware of it having hardware acceleration like Emotion does, where Emotion can play a 1080p video perfectly fine. So you do need to get, I recommend getting Emotion. I've had Emotion for a while. It's a very good player of, I'm going to sneeze again, of videos on your Amiga. I've got an RX 580 in my AmigaOne, so it's a very capable video card, and I want to watch a video at least 720. My eyes can't handle 480p anymore. I mean, I used to be on satellite internet where I couldn't get above 360p, and most of the time 144p. I don't want to do that. I want to see. I mean, I'm blind as it is. So, Video Vortex. I installed it. I couldn't get it installed. I double-clicked on the application, and it said that it needed some curl, C-U-R-L, curl file. And I tried it multiple times, and it kept saying the same thing. So I went and investigated. I grabbed some curl over at OS4 Depot. I put the things in the right places. It still wouldn't work. And then I stuck YT, the folder that I had downloaded, inside of the Video Vortex folder or directory. It still wouldn't work. So then as a last-ditch effort, I said, why don't I open up and move all the contents of YT Rexx inside of, instead of being in its own folder, put it inside of the VW, I keep saying VW Vortex. That's a real thing. Video Vortex. I put it in there, and then all of a sudden, it started working. So that was my one thing, a little hiccup, that if you run into a problem, put your YT Rexx files inside of the Video Vortex main directory. Don't put it all in a folder, because I couldn't get it to work that way. Anyway, down in the dock here, I've got Video Vortex. And it's going to now search the internet. AmigaOS 4 is the de facto. Let me focus it on the screen a little bit. And I'll widen it a little bit as well. Oh, jeez. Now I gotta shimmy my shoesters around it. I've got very limited space. And then focus it on the screen. Focus. Okay. It brings up a nice window. It automatically searches for AmigaOS 4. And in fact, you see one of my videos here. Because yes, I do like Amiga. I like a next-gen Amiga. And you'll see videos here. I can click on it and actually play it. Let's test it. I haven't tested it but a couple of times. So it brings up a directory of all these different. You could search on something different. You can arrow up and down. So if you want to see more, just click on the next grouping of stuff. And here's more Amiga. Oh, here's me with a Christmas. I played Astro Menace. Do we want to try that? That was a year. Let's try that. So I'm going to click on it and see what the hell happens. So it's thinking. It brings up emotion.
Hi folks, TJ here. Time to play a little AmigaOne X5000, a new game that I
saw playing beautifully.
Fort Depot when I was perusing it the other day.
So much easier than having to change any config files, doing all of this stuff and having a 480p video.
On different platforms.
You can skip. Let's move. Let's go here.
Keys and you shoot shit.
So let's perfect
focus in on here.
You can go to full. Emotion is very capable. You can go to a full screen. View, full screen. I've got this on a 4K TV.
And so I don't know if this is is this like a locked version, or you can
hit return, shrinks it up back to regular size. Let's stop it. So if I close this window, so it automatically saw that I had emotion. That part went well. But again, the initial grabbing of Video Vortex, grabbing of YT Rexx, even putting the folder of YT Rexx inside of the Video Vortex directory, I kept getting a curl issue. But as soon as I put all the individual files inside of the Video Vortex folder, which included that curl thing, curl application, curl utility, whatever it is, then all of a sudden things started working for me. It was supposed to, I believe, automatically allow you to download. At least Ghetto Finger Gamer said when he clicked his, it would come up and say you didn't see YT Rexx, download it. I don't recall if I ever saw that at all. So anyway, so let's close this. I close Emotion, and it takes me back to where it was. Say I want to search for something different. We don't like Amiga. We like Atari. Atari. Can you see my T-shirt? Atari. There you go. There's Atari videos as well. Let's see. Atari TJ. I do make some videos. Atari TJ. Let's see if it shows any of me come up. There I am. A Leonard Trammell. I have a Atari TT-030 that was shipped to Leonard Trammell. The box said this box right here was shipped by some customer back in the 90s to Leonard Trammell, and I got that box in my possession. Let's go ahead and actually run it, because I want you Amigans to feel the Atari love.
Hi folks, DJ here. I am cold. Northern California.
Oh, this is loud.
Knocking out power.
Like me. There we go.
Propane so we can get by.
It's just working. That is sweet. So, Video Vortex. I'll try to put as many links down below as I can. But this is good news. I can watch YouTube videos relatively easy. I could search them easy. There wasn't much configuration stuff. Sure, I had a hiccup installing. That can happen. But it overall just worked. So if you have Emotion, YT Rexx, you still got to have a conglomeration of things. But to me, it was more simple than having MPlayer, FM, MPEG, YT Rexx, adjusting config files to make it all work. That's where you lost me. If there was a GUI that put it all together and wrapped it up in a nice little bundle, I probably would have been using it for years. But there wasn't. And again, Emotion is hardware, I believe, takes advantage of hardware acceleration of your video card. If you've got the right enhancer drivers and stuff. So I've got that, and I'm able to watch higher resolution videos, not choppy. You saw that I was talking and my lips were matching. So that's all good stuff. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.